Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. So today we're going to be doing the July Love Tarot reading for the sign of Libra. Alright, July 2019 for Libra. So it's all about you guys today. How you doing, Libras? I love Libras. Most of my best friends in life have always been Libras. Just love their vivaciousness, their bubbliness, you know. Libra is the first sign that starts to look outside of itself in terms of its relation to others, whereas the first 6 signs are very much about me, me, me. The second to last 6 signs of the zodiac are very much about how you now fit into the world around you. One of the reasons why Libras are so I don't want to say excessively, but amazingly sociable. They love to be around a lot of people. They can get into their bag, you know, their moods, right? But anyone, that's with everyone, right? But of all the signs, they are they find their forte in friends, in social settings, right? Very, very loyal in relationships. It's kind of very Bonnie and Clyde when it comes to relationships. It's them and their partner against the world oftentimes. So let's just see what July is hitting for my lovely, lovely Libras out there. Air sign. Let's see. Alright, Libra, your first card is Flirt. Ha! What did I just say, right? This is perfect. You guys are absolute masters at flirting. And soulmate. Wow. Are you flirting with your soulmate? Bottom of the deck. Forgiving and learning. So instantly I started thinking about, start getting a message coming in about perhaps old friends, old flames, people you've always flirted with for a long time, now realizing perhaps there's something more going on, right? Talking about forgiving and learning could be a relationship that never got to any particular stage because of misunderstandings. But we're not going to know until we get into your reading, right? So and I love my audience, really, my subscribers and my watchers, especially, I mean, even those of you who are not subscribed to my channel, who just tune in. I certainly have a lot of faith in, you know, the people who tune into my videos in particular. I feel like something has brought you here. I do hope that these videos resonate with you. At the same time, I understand that you can read what's on the cards yourself. Flirt and soulmate are pretty self-explanatory. So, you know, it isn't until we get deeper into the reading that we really know what's going on, right? And it isn't until the cards are laid out before me that I can begin to intuit whatever scenario I'm meant to intuit out of it, right? So let's see how deep we can go. Give me an accurate reading for our lovely Libras. I hope this resonates, even for those of you who are tuning in who aren't subscribed. Perhaps you're just surfing today, trying to get a reading, trying to get an understanding. And I hope that this message resonates with you too. So let's get right into it. All right, Libra, your first card, Hierophant. Wow. 5. Tower. Uh-oh. And 10 of Cups. Wow. Well, look at that. If that isn't soulmate and forgiving and learning. Okay, we got Ace of Pentacles coming in. Beautiful opportunities. 3 of Pentacles at the center. Talking about cooperation. Like-minded individuals. Very Libran energy. 3 of Cups. Another 3. 2 of Discs or Pentacles coming in. And Ace of Swords. What a beautiful reading. I can already tell you now this is very, very nice energy. Hermit at the bottom of the deck. So self-realization coming in. Perhaps coming out of a period of solitude. Even if you're involved with somebody, could be, you can have a period of solitude and be in a relationship with someone. You know, you can pull away and pull within yourself. Those are the times that your mate may say, hey, what's wrong? Are you all right? And you go, well, everything's fine. I'm okay. But you're doing a little bit of internal work there, right? Okay, let's get into it. 5 of Hierophants. I love it when this card comes out because many times it comes out because something has happened. Some kind of occurrence has happened. Some meeting. But whatever it is, it could be one event or it could be a sequence of events, right? A realization. But whatever it is, oftentimes the Hierophant comes out when those occurrences begin to make us reevaluate our systems of our belief systems, right? Our moral compass, what we believe to be right and wrong. Everybody has a different belief system. I mean, we think that it's all fairly universal, and yeah, it is, you know, it's fairly universal that humans agree that hurting each other is bad, right? But our own personal belief systems are all very individual. They're very fine-tuned to us. Scenarios where we believe one person is right or the other person is right, or, you know, how we look at others. The Hierophant can also represent how we're raised. Oftentimes it can come up, say for instance, you're raised in a particular cultural background that is a bit perhaps bigoted in some way. Maybe your cultural background doesn't accept transgenders or doesn't accept people of another race or another religion, right? So there's a little bit of that constriction there, right? But you were raised that way. Oftentimes what happens is that when we come into life, when we become adults and we have encounters, right? Or we meet people that we've been taught all our lives that we shouldn't like or shouldn't want to be around, and we find ourselves attracted to them or being friends with them or finding out that there's absolutely no difference, the Hierophant can pop up. Because now it's time to reevaluate what we believe to be right and wrong, right? What belief systems we're holding on to. Oftentimes, Tower moment can come up with the Hierophant because those belief systems now have come into question and furthermore have been completely disrupted to the point where you're now ready, it's being torn down. You're having completely to rebuild brick by brick everything that you believe in, the way, you know, the tenets by which you wish to live your life, right? And certainly that is coming in for you. I think it began perhaps with a testing of faith. Also, Hierophant can come up sometimes when our faith is tested, right? When we make a recommitment to our faith as well, right? Sometimes the Hierophant will come up when our belief systems are what is needed because everything else around us is not giving us the strength that we need. And it's almost like we need to find our way back, right? That can be as if, you know, when you're raised in a really spiritually healthy family and you have a really good connection with your faith, sometimes you lose your faith along the way. And the Hierophant can also come up in times like that when you need to kind of be reminded of what your faith is and a recommitment to that faith. Certainly a Tower moment is coming. So I believe this is very much about a tearing down of everything you thought. Forgiving and learning, certainly with the Tower moment, it's like as if messages or information, meetings have come. You've either met with someone or there's been sort of some sequence of events, right, that has led you to realize that perhaps you were wrong about a particular scenario. Perhaps you were mistaken about your judgment of a particular person or a particular event. I want to think about, for instance, a family event or a friendship, right? Perhaps a friendship you had long ago that fell apart because of certain, like, he say, she say, right? And now you're finding out that all of that was wrong, right? And you're having a Tower moment. You know, it almost is like everything suddenly becomes, you become aware of everything, right? Another example could be, for instance, say you had a friendship a long time ago, right? And it was a couple people involved and that friendship fell apart because of everything that was being said around those people, right? So that friendship fell apart, and at the time you felt that, you know, it was right for you to leave that friendship alone. But you moved on with one of the other people and continued to remain friends with one of the other people in the scenario, right? Now, fast forward, something has happened to get you to realize, oh shit, back then I was wrong. I was given misinformation, right? And you find out that, in fact, you shouldn't have stopped being friends with the person you stopped being friends with. You probably should have stopped being friends with the person that you continue to be friends with. You find out information, like, it's one of those type of scenarios, right? Where you find out, oh, man. And then there's this kind of realization because perhaps this happened 10 years. This is just an example, but perhaps this happened 10 years ago, right? And then all along these last 10 years, you've just kept having these little issues with people. And now that you look back on it, there's always this one person involved, right? The same person who caused you to lose your friend 10 years ago. And now you realize it's almost one of these type of awakenings, right? Where you realize that, in fact, you have been putting your faith and your belief in the wrong individual all these years. And a lot of what you believed to be true was not true at all. And your entire sort of like everything that you trusted is kind of broken down, right? I believe it's one of those. And then you have a lot of forgiving and learning coming in. Now, that's an extreme example, but that's what I'm talking about. This kind of thing that happens when you realize you were wrong about something, you were wrong about someone or something, and you want to make it up. You want to forgive. You want to learn from the mistake, but you want to forgive and I don't want to say forget, but you want to come past this. This is not just a case of, you know, realizing what went wrong and letting it go. I think this is a case of realizing what went wrong and wanting to heal it, wanting to fix it. 10 of Cups, wanting to draw a line, to close it, but close it positively. 10 of Cups is the end of a cycle, right? And beginning of a new cycle. But it's the positive ending to a cycle. It's like positively tying off karma. And this is what makes me feel like this realization, this new knowledge, this information that's come in and kind of hit you like a bolt of lightning is very much making you want to go back and make amends with people, right? Fix what ended badly and try and change it into a positive. And I think there is a possibility for that with you. Very much so. All right. Ace of Pentacles is coming in. So there's a new opportunity coming in as well for you, right, this month. Interestingly enough, a new opportunity that's really going to bring like some financial abundance, perhaps at work or career, and your career is perhaps takes you to the next step, the next level, right? And so out of this as well is coming 3 of Pentacles, which is working together, cooperation. People are starting to give you accolades. People are starting to recognize you. I think this opportunity coming in is allowing for more opportunities to come in, right? It's allowing for even more of an audience to be aware of who you are. This could be, you could be an artist. You could be at the top of your field in something, right? But in any case, it's something you feel very passionate about, and something, and it has certainly something to do with how you make your money, right? How you make the money that you live on. And as a result, you're feeling very, very positive. You're getting kind of a win here, right? You're getting a victory here. Now, this victory, I believe, and all of this kind of work coming in, right, is kind of coming in as a result of this Tower moment, right? It's almost as if this Tower moment has come in and you've realized something and the floodgates have opened. Whereas I think before you may have felt for quite some time as if you were on your own, you know, toughing it out, not getting kind of what you want, not, you know, not achieving your goals. Really, just always there kind of like some kind of strife there or whatever, right? Some kind of obstacle. But this Tower moment is almost as if it just burns all of that away, and suddenly the money, the opportunities come in, the victory, the reaffirmation comes in. Your desire to go back and fix some relationships comes in, a deep desire to fix them. And out of all of this comes kind of a renewed bond with friends, a deeper bond, a renewed bond. This is where your soulmate could be coming out of, right? This is very much a celebration of like, wow, we made it through this. Now, I'm not saying this is a 10-year thing. This could be over a couple of months or something, right? But it's just the fact that it's like, wow, you know, we did it, we made it, we got through this, moment of miscommunication where maybe, you know, we were treating each other not so kindly, but we're learning, we're forgiving and learning, we're coming back together. And it's just really a good feeling for you, Libra, because you are at your best when you are at a good place with your friends, right? Certainly this could be very much about healing an old friendship that maybe went awry for various reasons, right? Could very much be that what happened at the time had a lot to do with money, you know. maybe you didn't have as much as, you know, maybe they were helping you out, you know, or you were helping them out, but there was some kind of difference in how each of you, you and this friend, or it could be a lover as well, but I believe it's more like a friend, a really close friend. You know, it's just like you guys kind of got on each other's nerves. You weren't at the right place, and it just kind of all fell apart. But it's like you just very much want to fix it. And I think a lot of this as well is because right now you are doing well financially. Money is coming in, right? It could very much be that you feel like you want to make amends to someone perhaps who you had promised that one day you will get, you know, you will get what you were working towards and you would look out for them. But maybe they lost faith in you. Maybe that's why the relationship broke up, right? And now you want to come back in kind of with this, look, I told you, I promised you that I'd make it up to you. I promised you that I would, you know what I'm saying? Could be a love relationship as well, right? Where it kind of fell apart because they just weren't willing to wait, right? And now you're coming in and you're like, look, I did, you know, you want to hold up your end of the bargain. That could be as well very much. It's kind of that same scenario though, right? It's like things fell apart because of miscommunication, and now you want to come in and fix it because you know, you made a promise. It could be because you made a promise to someone as well, right? But I think it's more or less a tired moment of really kind of just realizing that in some areas there, you know, you guys didn't see everything, right? You didn't know all of the information, and the falling out, the previous falling out was certainly due to bad communication and understanding. All right, and now you're feeling very much like back at home. You know, if this happens for you, if you're able to make these amends with this person, it feels very, very much like you guys never left off, right? It's like you start off exactly where you began. It feels like there was no time in between. You still have a lot of that care and affection. And a lot of that is based on the fact that the friendship before was so deep to begin with, right? And now you find yourself juggling, right? Now it's like, okay, now you're juggling, you know, perhaps you have this relationship or this friendship back in your life, right? And you're kind of now in a position where you're having to kind of juggle two things, right? Can be also that this opportunity coming in, right, and these new accolades that are coming in are causing you to also have to be pulled in two different directions, trying to decide. For instance, this could very much be like, let's say you work a normal job and then also you got an offer to do something on the side, right? That where you're kind of working for yourself. So now you have a side hustle where you're making your money, and you also have your 9-to-5 career hustle, and you're very much trying to juggle the two, trying to figure out, you know, because a lot of opportunities have come in and you're trying to handle both of them, Libra. There's certainly going to be some communication comes in, some ideas. And I think that also what's going to happen is quite interesting. It's like as if now that you've gone back to fixing this relationship, it's like you have your friend back who can help you make decisions, who can help you. You know, it's like before you guys were such a good team, right? And it almost has this feeling of like you were such a good team that when the team fell apart, it was like your life has always been kind of like not quite so good since then. Like working out so perfectly like it used to, perhaps when you were still with this person. And now when you're making up this, you're going back and you're making up this relationship, you guys are coming back together. It says it's almost as if all of that kind of smoothness is coming right back to your life. Like that things are starting to work out again. Communication is starting to get better. You're starting to reach your goals more, right? It's like, you know, you have very much this feeling like, oh man, I missed you, old buddy. You know, I really did miss you. Why did we fight and why did we not talk for so long? You know what I mean? It's very much one of those, you know, like, you know, why did we let such pettiness, you know, keep us apart from each other? Because we're so much better together than we are apart. And especially now in your life that you're starting to get a little bit more turmoil, certainly to do with your career and finances. It's almost as if like, oh man, you know, it's like it's like, thank God you fixed this relationship in time, because this is the friend who's going to help you. It's very soulmate energy, right? I mean, it doesn't necessarily, and I keep saying friend because I don't necessarily feel love, romance here, right? But it could be. It could be a love romance that just never got to that kind of commitment stage before. It was on its way and then fell apart. And so now when you guys come together, you start to work towards that kind of romantic connection. But all the best romances and love affairs start in friendship anyway. This is certainly still a soulmate, right? I mean, soulmates aren't always people that you have sex with or that you're like that with, right? This person is very much a soulmate because, like I say, when they're back in your life, it's almost as if everything starts working out again. Give me some insight on this reading for our lovely Libras. Talking about meeting their soulmate, forgiving and learning, going through this Tower period. Give me some deeper insight for our lovely Libras. This July love period, 2019. Show me. Show me. Libra, July 2019. Show me. All right, Libra, let's get your deeper cards. We got Ace of Cups, love, art, temperance, Sagittarian, Queen of Cups, Three of Cups coming out, beautiful. Two of Wands, Ace of Pentacles coming out. Ace of Pentacles in the same line of Ace of Pentacles. This opportunity is really good. Ten of Swords, Knight of Discs, and Six of Wands, beautiful, right? At the bottom, we have Nine of Swords. So anxiety and worrying. Yeah, this is absolutely appropriate. Nine of Swords talks about guilt, anxiety, sleepless nights, realizing that you maybe had a part to do in some of the, I want to say, some of the kind of sadness, right? Some of the sad occurrences, some of the negative interactions, right? Some of the pain that you have, right? Looking back, when you look back, you realize that some of it was your own fault. Nine of Swords is very much facing up to your own responsibility in things. It's very much facing up to, you know, for instance, when you look back on a relationship and you're finally ready to accept the fact that maybe one of the main reasons the relationship broke up was because of your behavior, right? And accepting that and realizing that, you know, when we break up, it's always like their fault, their fault, their fault. You know, it's hard to kind of, it's painful for anybody to admit to themselves that it was their own kind of mistakes or it was their own pattern of behavior that caused their relationship, you know. It's like facing up to the fact that you were a terrible husband or you were a terrible wife, right? And that's why your marriage fell apart. But it is important to face up to that, certainly when you want to forgive and learning. And I'm not saying that this is such a deep thing that you're so responsible for. Oftentimes it magnifies in our own head. Our guilt magnifies in our head, you know, and it magnifies what we did wrong into being this horrible thing. But the truth of the matter is that once you really look, you realize it's just human, it's being human, and the mistakes we made aren't so huge. They're bigger because we make them bigger. They're bigger because we don't face them. And so they end up having a hold on us for a much longer time. But if we were to face them, they will become much smaller, much more handleable. You know, you will be able to handle it much more, and you'd be able to integrate as well and learn from it a lot quicker. So Nine of Swords is just worrying, could be worrying about having this conversation with this individual, going, you know what I mean, fixing this relationship. Hierophant comes in because of an Ace of Cups. So there's love, right? So love could be that you met somebody, you were flirting with someone, right? And this flirtation with someone is what got the Hierophant to come out, right? Remember what I said, sometimes you can have an occurrence or a sequence of events that causes you to reevaluate your systems of belief. Could be that you've fallen in love with somebody that your systems of belief have told you shouldn't or couldn't, right? Could be coming out of a flirtation, just a recent flirtation that these kind of issues have bubbled up. Could very much be that you found yourself falling in love or being attracted to someone, flirting with someone, right, who's very similar to the person at the heart of this Tower moment. And now you're saying to yourself, why do I keep being attracted to these type of individuals if they're not right for me or if they don't fit into, right, my my belief system, right? Or as very much this feeling of like, well, why go forward here? I didn't go forward here, and I love this person very much. Something about this occurrence, I believe it was certainly some flirtation with somebody, just some recent kind of connection with somebody, some recent spark of emotion or love with somebody is what's kind of teed off this entire kind of reevaluation, which has ultimately led to this Tower moment, I believe, where you're being called to temper. 14 comes in, temperance, right? So Tower moment is about temperance. This Tower moment is very much about temperance within yourself. The first 4 is the Emperor. He has dominion over men. The second 4 is the 14, which is temperance, art, or Sagittarius energy, and that is dominion over yourself. Having dominion over the various parts of yourself to such a degree that you conduct yourself all the time along your internal compass. You never go against what you believe. You never go against your innate kind of intuition or your innate sense of what is right. You know, you never really have a question of what you're doing being at odds with who you are, right? You don't compromise. That's temperance. And so that's certainly coming out of this issue right now, this Tower moment that you're having. And this desire also to go back, and Queen of Cups coming forth. It's a desire to be open with your emotions, finally, with this individual, to finally, like I say, end this. If it's going to end, if the relationship is going to end, which, by the way, I believe that going back to try to fix this ending and make it a positive ending will actually bring this person back into your life. However, the desire to do this, to make it all right with them, is very much your Queen of Cups, so below as above, you know. You've gone here, you've had this Tower moment, you've had this reevaluation, you've gone through this temperance stage, right? And so now you're very clear about what your emotions are, and you're not afraid to share them. Queen of Cups is very sure who she is, and she wears her heart outwardly as her own identity. Her heart and her feelings are her identity. She's not afraid to be vulnerable. She's not afraid to show that she cares. She's not afraid to give a cup of love and also to receive it. 3 of Cups is coming out with this Ace of Pentacles. So right away, yeah, this is what I mean earlier about this, like, this opportunity, this money coming in, this new opportunity, for some reason, this new opportunity really does have a lot of bearing on this past relationship, right? Your desire to go back, to be able to, you feel comfortable going back. Could be that you never felt comfortable going back to fix this until you got yourself to a certain financial status, right? You had to go and make your way before you could come back and fix things. But now that this opportunity is coming in, the 3 of Cups is very much possible again. 3 being unity, bonding, loyalty of like-minded people. That bonding of you and your friend or your person is possible. Is immediately possible. You see it immediately possible as this money, as this financial material status begins to change for you and increase. 2 of Wands talks about the next steps, right? So next steps in your goal and your vision is very much tied into this cooperative work coming in. These individuals who are seeking you out for your skill. This is all about your forward movement in life, right? Attaining your goals. Certainly with regard to career, but certainly with regard to your general path. You know, something about this relationship, you needed to go out in the world and make your money, make your career, have your victory before you could go back and fix this. Here's the Ace of Discs. This is your victory. It's come full circle almost. This line is almost like a whole separate part of your life, but it informs your love life so much. Certainly informs this past relationship, which is why it's definitely a soulmate energy. You're having your victory as a result of this opportunity that you've taken. It's beautiful. And at the end of it, right, it's the end of a long, long road. This 3 of Cups coming in, once you finally get back to this feeling with your person, the old you dies. 10 of Swords is ruin, but it's ruin of the old you. The person that you were, that was part of the demise of this relationship before, right, is no longer there. That person doesn't suit you anymore. You've evolved, you've grown. Temperance and this Tower moment has allowed you to gain wisdom, And it's different now. It's like tying off. This is your second 10. We've got 10 of cups. Here's your 10 of swords. Lot of completion. Coming full circle. Knight of discs. Yes. So Knight of discs, again, like I said, you know, you're juggling now, right? You're juggling. And Knight of discs is very much like you moving on your own path. It's been a long time coming, right? But you're kind of bringing in your own opportunity. You are your own Knight of discs, right? And you're very much on the road. So this whole juggling, this whole, you know, trying to decide between two types of, I guess, ways of bringing money in or working, or two factions that you may be working with. Remember to look at what your forward goals are. In order to decide how to go about this situation, it's very much about where do you want your Knight of discs to be, right? Where is your financial or your path of wealth and abundance, right? The goals that you have on that path, where is that path going, and how do either of these scenarios fit into that path? And that's going to allow you to decide where to stop your horse, where to stop your knight, which one to take forward. And here's your victory, right? We're back to Six of Wands, which is that beautiful kind of sense of it's a sense of victory. It's a sense of, you know, standing your ground, luck coming in, you know, harmony is coming in, you know, the standing of you're vindicated. That's the word. You're vindicated, right? You've been kind of like, you know, trying to say all along that this is another six, right? Here you have, here's the Six of Wands in the original traditional, right? So here's coming out again. This is the Thoth deck, right? So it's like you're vindicated, you know, and what I said earlier is like when this person comes back into your life, it almost feels like your life is right again. And that's that victory. It's like you almost feel like you're back on top again. Interestingly enough, you have Six of Wands, both victory cards with an ace and an ace. Ace of discs and ace of swords. Very much a new beginning, but both of these new beginnings are very much like a comeuppance, a vindication of something that you've been trying to accomplish for a long time, or that you've been promising to accomplish for a long time. Could very much be that you promised something someone and it took longer than you thought to come in with it, but you're coming in with it, and it's like, you know, hey baby, I told you I would. I'm sorry it took an extra few years. You know what I mean? But I'm coming in. The victory certainly is there. It's there. You know, it's beautiful reading. I'm going to call it, Libra. This is it for your love, July 2019. It's all about going back and making those amends with a soulmate, and living up to your promise with that soulmate, bringing them back into your life, because your life, you know, your life is right when they're right next to you. You know, when you're together, that's when your life is right. And it's almost as if you're finally making your life right again. All right, you're righting some wrongs. I love you so much, Libra. This is quite a reading for July 2019. If it resonated with you, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share. If you want to get a private reading, follow that address at the bottom of your screen. But for right now, I'm just going to call it, have a wonderful, wonderful July Love Tarot month. Bye-bye.